What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Starcom Unknown Space. You may recall many years ago, a long time ago, I covered a game called Starcom Nexus, which was a novel little action RPG set in space where you were part of a Starfleet Federation type deal that accidentally got wormholed into an area that you have no idea what's going on, and you have to investigate and figure out how to get home, and the game seemed to manage combat, scientific exploration, and events very well. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. As a thank you for that video I did all those years ago, the developer fired over a beta to his new game, Starcom Unknown Space, which is the sequel, and was just like, yeah, have at it. And so anyways, we're going to check it on out today. I played the game for about 4 hours before this recording. We're not going to pick up from my last save, and there's a reason for that. So I tried to record an episode off my other save, but it was mostly just flying around scanning things in space. There was no conflict. It was all like diplomatic missions and stuff for like the entire video, and so I wasn't going to be able to show you any combat. So we're going to take it straight from the front of the game, the beginning of the game, where I know there's going to be a bunch of combat so that you can see what that looks like. And on top of that, there is going to be some dialogue. There are going to be some missions, but be forewarned, I've done this section already, and I was forced to kind of roll back, I guess, because my further on in save, I'm just basically being an intergalactic gopher for a bunch of alien factions right now, and there doesn't appear to be any real conflict brewing. I've made friends with just about everybody, and I'm just exploring space, and I'm quite positive people are going to want to see what the combat looks like in this game. So anyways, let's spend 25-30 minutes with the game. We'll see if we can get on in there, have a good time. You can get a rough idea of what Starcom Unknown Space is all about. If you wanted to check the game out, it's not going to be out for a couple of months, so you're going to want to go down below, and there's a link down there so that you can wishlist the game. On top of that, decent chance that I may stream this game, so check out my Discord. I will ping it. That's down in the description as well, along with my live stream, and I will ping that when I decide to go live with the stream, if I'm going to end up doing that. Let's go ahead and play some Starcom Nexus. So I've got my guy all set up already. His name is Buttsmith Boykins because I'm a paragon of maturity. Let's jump into the game. Alright, so we've got our first set of orders, and that first set of orders is simply to meet up with another ship that's gone missing in space. The game controls very simply. Use W, A, S, and D. There's very light Newtonian physics, but honestly, it's much more arcadey than that. I wouldn't worry about it too much. We can press Z, and that'll open up our inventory menu over here, where we have our crew menu, and we have our cargo, and we have, you know, our ship status and all of our stats, all the missions that we have available. Let's go ahead and head on over. Oh, I can't use the autopilot yet. They haven't. Have they? Oh, they do. They did give me the autopilot. They just don't have the little icon, I get. Well, maybe it does. I don't know. Anyways, we're closing in on the vessel. Looks like there's several dozen containers loose. I suggest we approach with caution until we know what is inside of them. Yeah, there's our spaceship right there. Let's investigate the hauler. After boarding the disabled ship, the command crew downloads the ship's manifest from the main computer. Cargo contents miscellaneous waste collected from the salvage of Alcyone Station, including personal effects, growing soil, heavy metal contaminants, deteriorating xenium volatile. Yeah, so that's probably what's inside those little containers right there. And so we've got to shoot as many of these little containers as we possibly can. This is going to be... I get the feeling we are not highly regarded in the Space Navy. This doesn't seem like a job like shooting space turds that have been released from what is effectively a space garbage truck. I don't think they give that duty, no pun intended, to the commanders they trust with real activities. I'm just saying. There we go. I'm gonna liquidate a couple of barrels over here. Maybe it works out. Our range is terrible. Our accuracy is just awful. It's okay. We're going to be able to upgrade that later on. We'll blow you up, and look at you, little barrel. Woo, that one had a big boomy explosive. All right. That one didn't light off his friend, though, that was right next door. Let's see here. I'm getting a priority emergency beacon on Starcom Open Hyperwave. It's from Maya, and they want all ships to report immediately. All right, let's get to it. I'll set an autopilot. We'll head on over there. You can control-click on any of these icons right here if you want to. You can also go out to the system map, and you can control-click, and it'll just autopilot on over there. Travel in this game does take a little bit of time. There is a form of fast travel in the form of warp gates, but the fast travel in the form of warp gates is not always going to be available. You may end up slow-boating from time to time. And there's our little space station. So let's do a little flyby. Let's go say hello. Let's go see what the Admiral has for us. Thank you for responding. Normally this would go to Starcom Fleet HQ, but we have an urgent situation. We've received an emergency beacon from our outpost on the other side of a quantum wormhole. They must have a critical emergency. I need you to activate the 2 nearby neutrino generators that'll activate the wormhole large enough to get through to them. All right, we'll activate them. Let's get to it. Off we go. I'm going to try to move quickly for the purposes of this video because, like, I know you guys are here to see gameplay and appraise whether or not a game is for you. Let's go ahead and cruise on over to this one, and we can talk about the UI for a second. We've got our energy down here. That's basically the ammo for our guns. We've got our speed, and we've got the void effect. Void effect is this game's way of making things flow a little bit quicker. There we go. We activated a wormhole stabilizer. Look at those lighting effects. Beautiful. The void effect is basically drag caused by celestial bodies. The farther you are away from celestial bodies, you actually get a speed boost that allows you to travel in between areas quickly, relatively quickly anyways, compared to, you know, compared to wormholes, it's pretty slow, but still. There we go. We've opened up a big scary wormhole. And look at that. It's a death ship. It's firing on our station. How dare you, sir? That was my favorite corridor to eat taquitos in. Now where am I going to eat my taquitos, dude? You taquito-wrecking nuisance. I can't believe you've done this. Whoever, whatever that is, just punched through my station like their neutronium hull's aluminum. Our hull is made of aluminum. I'm detecting a strong gravitational pull towards the wormhole. I'm going to try to compensate. No! The hole of the worm has claimed us! Insert Outer Limits music, I guess. Ooh, buddy. All right, quick trip through. Sensors show that the warp field holding the wormhole open is collapsing. Well, there is a space station. Goodbye, wormhole. That's the space equivalent of flushing a toilet. Gravimetric scans show the wormhole's there, but it's collapsed down to a Planck scale. I've detected a Starcom beacon on scans. I've marked its position on the HUD. That's going to be the station that Maya Commander mentioned. We should make contact with them and let them know what happened. Yeah, everybody's dead and nobody's coming. I love to be the bearer of good news. That's one of my favorite jobs out here in space. All right. Welcome to Kaleno Station, Commander. I assume your appearance means Maya picked up our emergency beacon, and I hope that the battle crack is the very small tip of a much larger spear of reinforcements coming soon? No, sir. That sounds ominous. That's very alarming. The reason we sent the emergency beacon is that we've come under attack by vessels of unknown origin. We're calling them the Red Raiders based on their markings for lack of any other information. And now you're telling me that there's another threat that's cut us off from support? Oh, for now, there doesn't seem to be anything that can be done about Maya's station or the ship that destroyed it, but we can deal with the ships that have been attacking us. They're not terribly powerful, and the Kaleno's guns keep them at bay. We have a research outpost at the development on an inner planet. The only other support ship this side of the wormhole is out of comms range. Given the attacks and the lack of imminent reinforcements, I'm going to need your help evacuating staff back to the station. I'll do it. That's what I had hoped. You'll need a survey lander, and I've heard Lieutenant Milton start making modifications on the battle crack. See him in the shipyard and get our people back safe. All right, so to the shipyard. Now, this game has a fully customizable ship designer using hexes. And so anyways, if you can dream it, you can build it. And they've added in a whole bunch of, like, armor that allows you to basically round out the hull and make it look nice so that everything doesn't look like a big, messy mass of hexagons. So you can actually have, like, smooth ships that look really, really good and really sleek. For right now, we have apparently 2 plasma cannons, and that's about all that we have. Am I supposed to be doing something right now? Hold on. What's my mission at the moment? I think I'm supposed to, let's see here, evacuate an outpost on the inner planet. I'm probably going to need, I'm probably going to need a survey lander for that. So we'll just drag and drop that on there, and that's literally how easy building is in this game. The survey lander is going to allow us to do away missions on planets. It's very, very easy to do. We just got to fly over there and push one button. Looks like they are on this planet that is way up to the space north of us. Listen, I don't know if I don't know how we chart north in space, all right? But on screen, in a 2-dimensional plane right now, or I guess a 2-dimensional spaceship, oh good, there's bad guys coming. Hostile ships detected, weapons make ready. Open fire. Let's give it to them. Yeah, get wrecked, nerds. What else you got for me? What you want, oh no, I'm out of energon crystals. I'm being peppered. There we go. We finally hit them on the tail end. We can siphon up their loot. All the loot in this game is basically just raw elemental materials. Things like titanium, iridium, aluminum. And when you have enough, you can add more parts to your ship. And that's the fundamental way by which you advance through the title. We can't turn on cruise control. I don't really see the point. We'll just float on over here. If a planet has a question mark on it, it can be surveyed. So when you get close enough, you can scan it like so. And then if there's anything here, we can deploy a survey team to go and figure out what's in there. In my 4-hour playthrough, I have found some crazy stuff out in space. Like entire little subplot lines and things that you can mess around with. The game has a really, really good thing going on where it's got ooh piece of candy syndrome, where as you're flying through space, you'll be like, what's that? And then you'll scan it and you'll survey it and it'll give you like an object. And then like an hour later, you'll find like another thing and the object slots into that thing and gives you like a gazillion resources. It's a very, very satisfying core gameplay loop. The ground team is disappointed to abandon the outpost. Apparently, they have just unearthed an alien object with markings similar to an artifact in space near Kaleno. But they conduct the evacuation with professional efficiency and rush their staff, materials, and objects aboard the lander. Okay, well, there you go. Mission accomplished. We'll get our little lander back right there. Love the planetary modeling in this game. The planets look fantastic. They reflect light from the side that the sun is coming on in. The amount of light and how much they actually glow and have kind of like a bloom effect depends on how big the star is and how much light it puts out. It makes space a very, very interesting place. This kind of dim black background that we've got right now is not going to be the only one that you're going to have either. Depending on the system you're in, there's going to be completely, it can be inside nebula clouds, asteroid fields, stuff like that. I'll scan this planet down real quick too, because why not? No anomalies. Well, I guess no treasure for me. We'll go talk to the captain. Well done, Boykins. Given the shortage of Starcom vessels around here, you and your ship are going to have to take on an outsized role. Until Starcom reopens the wormhole and sends reinforcements, establishing an outpost is a lower priority than strengthening defenses. I'm going to authorize you to make full use of resources recovered from the outpost to outfit the battle crack. I'll talk to our research chief about giving you access to the lab as well. No further questions. That's it. And so anyways, Dr. Rama's going to come online in a minute, but for right now we have an alien device that we picked up that was given to us by the crew that we just rescued. We can analyze it inside our hull. We got 70 research points. Very nice. That allows us to come back over here and talk to Dr. Rama. Talking to Dr. Rama is going to unlock the research menu, which I haven't really gotten all the way into. I think I've gotten probably 800 or 900 research in my 4-hour playthrough, and there's stuff to research here. For right now, in the interest of making the playthrough faster, I'm going to unlock turbo thrust, because that allows us to basically turn on the nitrous and fly faster. And then I'm going to have my tractor beam. Actually, no, I'm going to upgrade my scanner so that I can see objects out further. We'll worry about the tractor beam later. Inside operations, we can talk to you. If the battle crack is one of our only vessels in the space, we need full command crew for maximum efficiency. Some of the team members you evacuated have volunteered. They've added to your crew roster, which you can review at any time. They're admittedly a bit green, but I think with some experience, they'll be officer material in no time. And speaking of experience, we've got ship movement around a nearby gas giant. There appears to be some activity on the surface of one of the moons. Take the battle crack, check it out. The ships have similar energy readings to Red Raiders, so you should probably be ready for combat. Will do. Let's see what we can throw on this thing, though, first. I mean, we obviously need to get some more accompaniment in order to make this whole thing work. I'm going to tear off this bad boy right here and put that right there. Everything is fully modular. You get a 100% refund for anything that you disassemble, and so those bulkheads are not necessary right now. What I need is equipment, and what I need is things that make us more effective. I am going to put an engine back on just so I remember to save my resources for 2 thrusters. And then what I would like to have is I would like to add, we have 1 chirolite, so we can add another reactor right there. I am going to swap that position. Let's take these off real fast. We'll put the reactor right there. And for the propulsion, I'm going to need 110. Okay, that's fine. Just remember I need 100 aluminum before we can go any further. We're going to go with another plasma gun, because 3 is better than 2. We will more than likely Did that use up my chirolite? Oh, no, it's still on the ship. Okay. We're going to put in a mini battery so that we can be a little bit more effective with our energy generation now that we have more guns. And then what I would like to do... Well, I guess we're just going to have to be kind of ugly for right now. Yeah, we're just going to have to be a little bit ugly. That's okay. We'll throw some thrusters on there, and we'll hold on to the rest of the aluminum because we don't really need bulkheads right now. I don't think that they're going to add up to any kind of... I could add a scanner, I guess. Yeah, throw a scanner on the... We'll have like a thin little dunk on the back of the ship right there. How's she look? Not too bad. I mean, she could look worse. All right, let's thrust away. We've got planets that we've got to take a look at. We also want to activate this warp gate over here for fast travel purposes so that we can get around the galaxy a little bit quicker. Firing rate does feel better. Massive artifact. Oh, I guess I can't activate that yet. Okay, I've got to go collect the research from these planets first. Ooh, we have enemy contact. All right, everybody, let's scramble. Bring her on in. And that's one enemy down right there. Go to sleep in the void. I don't know what you call Davy Jones in space, but we're sending them on over there. I don't know, Warpy Jones. I don't really know. These guys are only going to drop aluminum. The game is a little bit gated with how big you can build your ship. It requires research to make your ship bigger. And then in addition, as I've played the game... What is that thing? Ah, it's shooting me! Okay, never mind. It's not my friend. Looks like a little battle outpost, maybe? There we go. Wipe that thing out. Has it got any good loot? What's it got? We got an aluminum, and we got another aluminum. I would like it if this box had a little bit of opacity behind it, like a text meter, like a text box almost, that you could scroll up and down and see old messages. Sometimes with the icons from an individual system where they're at, the text either needs to be like more centralized or it needs to have some opacity behind it, because when you end up with icons in the way, it can be hard to read the text down there to figure out what you picked up. Let's scan this bad boy. All right. Don't you worry, scientists. The battle crack is coming. We are to the rescue right now. The anomaly is a partially buried ring-shaped artifact 100 meters in diameter. While technologically advanced, the structure shows signs of design and progress, suggesting that this was an experimental device or prototype. Cadet Lee says the rocks and dirt nearby have undergone zero oxidation, so it was excavated recently. Yeah, so your crew members, they notice things based on their level and their skills that they will bring up to kind of help you choose what dialogue option you want to go to. But anyways, Cadet Kepler observes that while the structure is too large to transport, it does have a data storage component. If provided with power, we might be able to access the data. Yeah, let's do an engineering check. Our engineering check was sufficient. The process is surprisingly tricky, but the artifact reacts to energy from the lander in unexpected ways. With careful attention, Cadet Kepler is able to keep the power high enough to eject the data and not damage the artifact or the lander. If you wanted to take a look at your crew, they're inside this menu right here. This is one of the major differences from the previous game. In the previous game, as I recall, the crew were kind of like in Space Pirates and Zombies. They were just there to make your ship better, and they would die in combat and get sucked out the airlock and be like, "Wah!" and like fly off into space. And then you would just go back to the space station and click a button, and it would just repopulate with crew. Not the case in this game. In this game, your crew are actually deck officers, and they have different specialties, as you can see down here. And these specialties are used for both in-game things, like firing your guns and repairing yourself, and your accuracy and things of that nature. But on top of that, they're also used for away missions. And so anyways, some light RPG aspects with regards to the crew that you have on board. Let's go ahead and hit this other planet real quick. Hey, 50 research points right there. Hell yeah, space brother. Ooh, this is a big old farty boy space. Yeah, okay. We got ourselves a gaseous space entity right here, man. Every sector of space is gaseous when I'm there. I just can't quit you, space burritos. There's no anomalies, dude. Okay, fine. I'm disappointed, but I'm flying away. Back at base. Let's hopefully we get our attaboys here. Maybe we'll get a promotion. We'll get bumped up on that old pay scale. All right, docked at the station. I I've had an opportunity to examine the object the outpost team found. As I suspected, the nearby artifact is a wormhole generator. The object we found allows us to communicate with it. The last piece of the puzzle I deduced from your team's investigation of the buried ring. Coordinates are encoded as a mathematical formulae describing warp space. Knowing the particular formula for the location acts as kind of a key. My hypothesis is if we put this formula into the wormhole generator, it will make a wormhole to a distant point in space. We, meaning you, should test this by activating the artifact. All right. Best case scenario, the artifact will work when you turn it on. Worst case is you'll be light years away and you have to fly back in normal space. And then I'll have my lab back to myself. Be sure to bring extra food. All right. The archaeological team has reported their findings. The nearby ring artifact that Dr. Rama says can be used as a transport gateway was built by an entity or culture referred to as the Remnants. Their technology may aid us in reopening the wormhole from our side, but in any event, it is far more advanced than anything we have. Investigate the endpoint of the gateway. If you can find the source of those Red Raider ships, neutralize them if possible. But your top priority, find similar artifacts. On it, Cap. All right. In the shipyard, I don't think I have enough to add anything, and I don't think I could anyways because I haven't done enough research yet. We do have 50 points to mess around with. Let's throw 50 points at maybe accuracy of weapons because I have been noticing a little bit of spread. It's got a good spread, and I just don't want to deal with it. All right, let's go back to the gate. We'll turn this bad boy on, and we'll see what lies on the other side of the space hole. Flush me, baby. I'm ready. So there's our other out point right there. Let's go ahead and head to it. It is important to note that, let's take a look at the map. All this space has stuff in it. You are not confined by gates. You can fly off in the distance this way if you want to. And your scanners, if they're powerful enough, they will find things. And you will investigate them, and you will do science, and sometimes it'll be an enemy base, and there'll be a giant shootout. And you might almost die, and you might scream in terror as the plasma slowly creeps its way over the canopy. It can be terrifying exploring in space. We've got accelerators in this neighborhood. These are effectively railguns that fire your ship as a projectile for short-range travel that doesn't necessitate a wormhole. Pretty common in most sci-fi. And so anyways, we'll be using those to get out of here after we scan and appraise everything. My observation about planets in this game is that they are pretty varied. There are a lot of different planet designs and a lot of different planet models. No anomalies, huh? All right. We do have an enemy incoming, though. We got a Red Raider problem over here. Let's go deal with him. Oh, he's got, like, upgrades. My man's a little bit doper than his compatriots. All right, we do have to lead him a little bit, but I think we can get him. There we go. That's the good stuff. Let me get that loot. Let me get them goodies. 9 aluminum off that guy. That's not actually that bad. That's a pretty good yield. That's like 15% of a ship part. I'll take it. I'd love to slap a 4th gun on this thing so that we have, like, even more oomph. Oh, we got a, what is that, like an outpost? Oh boy, we got all kinds of things happening. Look at the Michael Bay. I almost said Michael Bublé. I'm like, look at the Michael Bublé lens flare. All right, a couple more ships down. Keep pulling everything in with the tractor beam. Unload on that guy before he pulls up. The ships do fragment, but yours does not. So you can have your ship parts destroyed by taking too much damage, but they don't fall off. Enemy spaceship parts actually fall off, which is really, really satisfying when you get into fights with, like, bigger ships. And big parts are flying off and exploding and stuff like that, and you're, like, shredding each other. There is also battle damage, in case you were wondering. My ship will catch fire, and it will look kind of scuffed as we take more and more damage. I want to scan this planet, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. I will do science by force if necessary. No anomalies on that planet. All right. What an absolutely gorgeous... Oh, what's up, dude? Bad day to be you. There we go. Knocked him out. What kind of goodies you... What is that blue thing? What is that? Give me the blue thing. What is it? Yttrium. Nice. I think yttrium is used for thrusters? I don't remember. Hey, survey team away! I wish that the survey team thing, when it fired, I wish like it sounded like one of those grenade launchers from Vietnam that was like thunk. Like, I don't know. If I had a survey pod on my ship, I would hope that it went thunk. Like, it would be more satisfying. There's little of interest on this methane-choked planet. The most advanced life form is a grass-like fungus. But sometime in the last few centuries, somebody fought over this rock, as demonstrated by a half-sunken gunship. While nature has stripped away many of the resources, the turrets have their yttrium capacitors. Oh, yttrium is for guns, then. There you go. Yttrium is for the boom booms. Speaking of boom booms, I went back to base now that we have more yttrium. I'm going to throw another gun on this thing. Like, what's the point in space exploration if I'm not fully prepared to meet new alien species and kill them? Let's go ahead and we will slap a gun on this thing. Energy weapons-wise, I don't know where I want it to go. I'll probably put it, like, right there. It's not a good-looking ship. I'm not going to lie. It's not a great-looking ship right now. She could be prettier. But I do want to put my scanner back on. If I could get another thruster, I'd throw another thruster on here too, but we need 5 gold for it. I'd love to have a third thruster because just like slow boating in this game takes forever. And so I tend to spend a huge majority of my resources just putting a ridiculous amount of thrusters on everything. Down through the southern accelerator. Let's see where it takes us. Oh, that's a pretty planet. That's a good looker. Yeah, let's go ahead and scan it real quick. Anything there? Yes, there actually is something on the oceanic world. Let's go ahead and check it out then. Let's see what it's got. In a shallow, rocky cove on this oceanic world, we find a sunken box with bars of pure gold. All right. That actually is our third thruster right there, if we can pick up a little bit of aluminum. Let's continue scanning around and seeing if we can find this pirate base. But it does look like there's a lot of planets to survey over here. So, let's scan those out. Another planet that I can get something out of. Very nice. I've always been attracted to planetary exploitation in games like this. 47 aluminum from a crashed raider ship. Very nice. Okay. We also have raiders that are trying to pull up on us hot right now. They're trying to catch us with that skirt. Should I go take them out? I think I should go take them out. I'm feeling a little bloodthirsty right now. I think I could do that. But yeah, having spent like 4 hours with the game, here are my thoughts. Starcom Unknown Space does not divert from the Starcom equation by a lot. There are some things moved around. There are some things refined. There are things smoothed out. But if you enjoyed the first game, you can expect more or less a similar experience from this game, just with updated graphics, updated lighting, updated shipbuilding, updated portraits and things of that nature, sound effects, and then, of course, the crew changes. Other than that, I haven't seen too many things that I thought were, like, wildly different from the first Starcom. Like, this is one of those games that is very much a refinement of its predecessor. Like, it basically takes the equation from Starcom Nexus, and it just starts sanding on the edges, and it starts being like, well, this system would work better over here. This system would work better over here, and this would work better if we move this over to here. But functionally, if you enjoyed the first game, I think you will probably like this game. The only warning that I have is for all the eye candy and all the combat you're seeing right here, this game can have tremendously large slow periods that are a lot of dialogue and a lot of you just like delivering packages in between various alien factions and things, trying to avoid wars between them. You do develop a rapport with those alien factions, and they will either declare war on Starcom or they will ally with Starcom, depending on the actions you take and how you support them and whether or not you make certain skill checks and things of that nature. And so there is a diplomatic angle here. Really, this game is like Star Trek. Do you like Star Trek? Not every single Star Trek episode has a ton of combat in it. You know what I mean? There are combat-heavy sections of Star Trek, but not always. The vast majority of the show is about quandaries and problems in space. This game is very, very similar to that. If you're looking for a pulse-pounding game that is just non-stop, like, action from the front to the end, the first couple hours of the game might give you the impression that it's a game that is all about crazy combat, because we're being attacked a lot right now. But once you deal with the Raider threat, what happens after that? Well, it becomes very much a game about scientific exploration, and there's occasional combat in there, and there are flare-ups of tensions. I may have just gotten lucky in my 4-hour playthrough in that, like, I just made all my skill checks with diplomacy and with xenobiology and all that kind of stuff, and I ended up with every single faction liking me, even though you were probably intended to fail and not have everybody like you. But I succeeded at having everybody like me, and so it was a really peaceful playthrough that was mostly like dialogue and reading and scanning planets. Mileage may vary for other people, and I think that's pretty much the only warning that I would throw out there, is that depending on how your playthrough goes, there may not be a ton of combat all the time. And I know for some people that'll be a deal breaker. But the fact that it doesn't focus on combat all the time, and that this is a game that takes like scientific exploration seriously in between all the broadsides and everything, will be appealing to others. And so anyways, if you're looking for a game kind of like Star Valor, but decelerated with less focus on the action RPG and combat, and more focus on like galactic interaction and meeting people and races and planets and finding artifacts and trying to figure out what they do, and doing lots of research, and also doing, you know, some shooting, you'll probably dig the game quite a lot. But that's pretty much my thoughts for right now. It's possible that after that little 2-hour period of diplomacy that I was in, that the game picks back up and there is a ton of combat, just like this opening section, but I didn't get there, you know? At a certain point when you're recording a first impressions video, you have to admit that this is no longer first impressions, this is becoming a review, and like now you have to finish the game and beat it. And like, I really like my first impressions format. So with the insights that I've seen from the first 4 hours, I'm pretty stoked about this game, actually. I think it's gorgeous. I think it looks great. I really enjoy interacting with the planets and all the little storyline things going on. I've enjoyed the combat, and I've had a good time with that. It feels visceral and explosive, and the lighting effects are cool. There are more weapon types inside the game. You just got to research to get to them and like meet other alien races and stuff like that. But anyways, for right now, this is Starcom Unknown Space. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. This game comes out in a couple of months, and that's all I've got. Take care, everybody, and it's time for me to go.